It started with fresh paint. I came home from work and saw bright, white lines covering the gravel beside my townhouse, the exact space I'd parked in for 6 years. A new sign stood proudly at the curb. Visitor parking, Hoa use only. Visitor parking, on land clearly outlined in my closing documents as a limited use. Easement, meaning I owned it, and they could not redesignate it without written consent. They didn't ask. They just painted. When I moved the sign slightly back to the original boundary marker, the HOA sent a warning letter for tampering with community property. Community property. Interesting phrase. I didn't argue in the group chat. I didn't confront anyone in the parking lot. I requested records. Turns out the HOA had bigger plans. They intended to expand the street entrance to allow for a small retail strip at the corner, coffee shop, boutique, maybe a convenience store. To meet zoning requirements, they needed additional setback clearance and stormwater compliance adjustments. Adjustments that quietly relied on shaving a few feet off unused residential edges. Like mine, that fresh paint wasn't random. It was preparation. So I pulled my survey. Then I pulled the original subdivision plat filed with the county. And then I scheduled a soil and drainage assessment. Something required under municipal code if street boundaries are altered within a certain proximity to private property. I submitted a formal inquiry to the city planning department. Not a complaint, an inquiry. Within weeks, inspectors arrived. Measurements were taken. Elevation discrepancies noted. It turned out that expanding the entrance without proper stormwater mitigation would push runoff directly into protected green space, a violation. The project was flagged, then paused, then officially suspended pending redesign and environmental review. The retail plan evaporated. The fresh paint on my parking spot quietly disappeared too. At the next HOA meeting, no one mentioned visitor parking. No one mentioned expansion plans. They simply restored the boundary marker to its original location. I parked there that night. Same spot, same gravel, different understanding. They thought they were taking a few feet. But when you start moving lines without checking foundations, sometimes the entire street becomes impossible to build on. I didn't raise my voice. I just followed the code, precisely.